call the meeting to order at 6:04 on Thursday, July 10th.
Quick roll call. Judith Meister.
Here.
Dana Newman.
Here.
Daniel Cody.
Here.
Jason Litton.
Here.
Okay. So we have, our first item is public input, and we do have a speaker. And to speak on general items. Please.
Hi, thanks for letting me speak. I'm John Alley, and I grew up here, went to the former library. My son came to this library, studied here. Santa Monica is my life, and I love it here, and I want to see it improve. I'm here to ask if each of you, for the next 5 weeks, at each council meeting, one of you could speak on behalf of safety here at the library, outside and inside, and the need for the council to really focus on security. The good guard security is not doing their job outside. We have evidence of that. We've got, our team is large, Santa Monica Coalition. We have visuals, we have videos. It's not working. Maybe they're using their GPS and staying in their cars or leaving their cars. It's not working. Even today, when I was using the bathroom at 5:20 when I came to do some work before the meeting, there was a guy in the bathroom lighting up with meth in the bathroom stall. So it's not safe. The library is not safe. And if each of you, we need to save the libraries, and we need your enthusiasm in the same way that we save Fairmont. Same way. And if one of you could appear at the beginning of the meeting, public comment, and just emphasize how much safety means to all of us, it would really mean a lot to the community. I think more people would use the library. A lot of people are questioning whether the library is even needed. They don't realize all of what it serves and why it should be here, beyond books, which you can get any book today on computer. So that's my message today, and I really ask you to be active in the council meeting. If you appear at 5:30, you sign up, you'll be heard at 5:45 in general comment because it's not an agenda item, but they'll get the idea, and we need that. We need to save the library, but more so, we need to be safe. If I park, or my wife parks, or my daughter parks here, I don't want them coming across here. The last meeting that we had, there was a special session of City Council budget meeting. I think it was back in March. There were so many people on meth in the parking lot here that they had to open up the stairwell to the upper floor where the meeting was held, and they let it go. That's not right. I know we're short of police, but there's got to be more emphasis on safety and security. And I appreciate your listening and taking that into consideration.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming and your comments. I see your emails all the time as well. And we're not, it's public comment, we can't engage.
I understand.
So you know that.
And I'd like your help because I don't like it appearing on radio or on TV, bad things about the library. And that's what's been happening the last few weeks. KABC, all the radio stations are mentioning problems and mentioning the policies of Erica. And I don't see her here today. I don't know why. But
I'm right here.
Oh, okay. The sign's here.
This is Erica.
I haven't met you.
Yes, she's our director.
Yes.
And she is here.
So if you heard those are the concerns from the general public, whether they're correct or not. Those are the concerns. We need to address them. And maybe a letter to the editor, Santa Monica Daily Press, the Outlook, the Observer, something that shows, hey, we get it, this is what we're doing. You're wrong. You're right. We're working on the issues. Something like that. But we've got to do something. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. And here's some safety whistles. You can pass out to your family and kids. If you have trouble, you can use the whistle. Thanks, John. Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Hi. see. Oh, we have one other piece of correspondence. This was the letter that the Recreation Parks Commission submitted to the council on Tuesday night about the airport conversion project. So which I can read it, or we can just pass it around.
I think you can pass it around.
Oh, I think.
Everyone has a copy.
Oh, everyone has a
So
copy.
if they want to read it.
Okay,
Later
thank you
time.
very much. So we can all read it. We can all read it then. I know, I know we have no issue, we have no item on the agenda about safety. I imagine you typically include that in your secretary's report. But I'm not sure we haven't gotten to that yet. But I was going to suggest it would be helpful because I don't know if all of you get his emails. I get them every day. I know what he's took his group and their concerns. But I think it would be helpful to schedule a time to bring our LSOs and the police here to give us a briefing about public safety and how they see it, what more can be done, or what are the issues. A lot of things that we hear aren't necessarily true, but some things may be. So I think it would be great to schedule that in the future. And maybe more public might come if they see that's on the agenda. We'll hear about that. Okay, so let's go on. So we're happy to swear in Jason again. He was reappointed, which is terrific. So we have, do I have the oath? Oh, Priscilla has it. Priscilla, did you do that, or?
Well, the chair
Oh,
or myself or Erica.
Okay, all right. So, this is the oath of allegiance for public officers and employees. So, I'll read it and you can read it back. I, Jason Lynn,
I, Jason Lynn,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the Santa Monica Library Board according to the best of my ability. Well, that's a
and
lie.
that
Okay, we'll go back. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the Santa Monica Library
of
Board
the Santa Monica Library Board
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Subscribed and sworn to before me this 10th day of July. So this is great. So congratulations.
Same.
And I'll sign. This will be my last official thing to sign. I'm happy to sign this. So now you have another 4-year term.
Well, the last one I think was only a year, a
Yes.
year and a half, because
Right.
it was.
Well, I think
I don't
that-
exactly know what happened. Or something.
Well, I think, a number of us were filling unfilled terms. That's what happens.
filling unfilled
That's
terms.
what happens. So, and I think, we do need to kind of revisit where everybody's, you've got an
There's a
updated
copy in
roster.
your packet
Oh, in our
of
packet, oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I didn't look.
roster.
Thanks,
And I
great.
believe Jason and Judith are the only ones on their second term.
Great. Okay.
Oh, my term started on July 9th.
I'm just going to look for that for a second.
I don't think I was notified until August.
That's the day that
The
council
council
makes
did their thing.
the appointment.
Oh, right, yes. Oh, here it is. Oh, all right, so, oh, so, 12 months, I've been 26. It's really weird, because my first term was only like a year.
It was a limited.
That was the same.
Yeah, I know. So we're able to serve 2 terms, and then if you want to be on a 3rd term, you have to request. The council needs to approve that. Okay. So, All right, so we're moving on, and I think Priscilla will do the annual election of library board chair and vice chair. And so I love being the chair. Per our rules, no one can serve for more than 2 consecutive terms as chair. Does that hold true for vice chair as well?
Only for chair,
Chair.
but you can still serve as vice
Oh,
chair.
okay, all right. So anyway, we'll have a new election.
Let's start with, do we have a nomination for a chair? I would need a nomination, and then a motion and a
Your
second.
current one is your first term?
No, this is my second.
As the chair?
Yeah, so I'm
Oh.
stepping down.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 2 years, I guess.
I'd like to nominate our vice chair, Dana.
Yes, I'm second that.
And I'd also like to nominate Jason as new vice chair.
And I second that. That's a good team. So I'll make a motion that I hope we can do it unanimously, that we elect Dana as chair and Jason as vice chair.
Okay, I'm going to do a roll call. Jason,
Yes.
do you accept the nomination?
Oh, I do.
And then you vote
And I
yes.
vote yes.
And then Judith?
Yes.
For herself?
Yes.
You can vote for yourself.
And Dana, do you accept the nomination for
Yes,
chair?
with pleasure.
And then you vote yes.
Yes.
And Danielle?
Absolutely, vote yes.
Perfect.
So do you want to come and say?
Or does it happen like immediately?
Yeah, I guess, or, I mean,
Yeah.
what do you think? Yeah, it does usually. Or-
It does happen at the meeting.
Yeah.
But it's always like but you can finish the meeting.
You're on the
All
roll.
right, all right. I mean, we're such a tight group here. Oh, I didn't even see that there were 2. She did one for staff. Oh, I look at that. All right, that's from, all right.
Yeah.
Great, okay, well, congratulations, this is great.
And Judith, thank you for serving as chair.
Yes, thank you.
So much.
Well, I'm still here,
Obviously.
obviously I'm still here, and I'm always available to help.
Thank you. I will call upon that.
Okay, so now Eric will give us an update on the adopted budget.
Yes, you have a copy of the library section of the budget. And it was fairly as reported in the proposed biannual, no real increases besides, minor CPI adjustments. So for 2025-26, it will be at 11.7 million, and then 26-27 it will be at 12. Our staffing remains the same, 74.3 for both years. And of note is what was also approved was in the safety measure, that measure will be paying for our proactive monitoring, which is the after-hours monitoring that's happening, particularly at the main library.
Is it an OpEx or CapEx expense for us? Is that operating expense, not a capital expense?
It was an operating expense,
Okay.
yes, yeah. There was a one-time capital that was,
Did the city absorb
that
the
actually,
overhead?
because it was a pilot, was as part of a pilot program.
Okay.
And then we took on the annual maintenance fee for it. We will be entering into request for proposals because it was a pilot to just make sure that there aren't any other interests.
Oh, okay, so we'll open it up.
Yes,
Again.
as part for our procurement.
Right, sure.
We have to do that, but that's being prepared, and until about October, we've got this in place.
Right, so they'll continue until we have a new contractor.
Yeah. And so that actually has, because of our pilot, Miles Playhouse and Camera Obscura decided to
Oh.
do that as well for after hours. And I think Camera Obscura is already in place. Miles, I'm not sure. They were doing it. I'm pretty sure because they reopened it that that's in place as well. So we're together combined trying to, figure out what that RFP would look like because it's expanded beyond the library because of its success.
What's the, what does temporary staffing mean from a, does it just mean they don't get benefits? What is, is this part-time? Is this?
Yes, so it's as needed. So we have one position that is completely as needed, that's library page.
Okay.
And they do get, certain like sick hours and things like that, but yes, not like the full-time benefits.
Right.
We also have as needed for librarians and library assistant twos, and that really helps to infill a lot of the, whether it's vacation or weekends or evenings.
Yeah.
For our help.
And then how does the staffing break down by the departmental pieces you have on the other pages?
Oh, how does it break down? So I actually have that. Let me just. A majority of the librarians are actually in our community engagement and programming. But are you talking about the number of staffing?
Yeah.
That's still reflective. I have this.
Effectively have 75 folks
Yes.
and most are in service delivery
Right.
versus.
I know that was from Daytona.
Yeah, I don't have.
But that
so
was when I
the-
first started.
Yeah, so we've
like
expanded
2
a
years
little
ago.
bit, but in terms of, they're fairly equally, this is all. They're equally represented, but in terms of in terms of positions, you're gonna see more librarian positions, or all of them, in the community engagement and programming. And then we've got a lot of our library assistant two and tech staff in collections technology and patron services.
Okay.
But,
And the fact that we don't have our branches all open, I'm guessing the branches in neighborhood services is the smallest.
actually, our admin is the smallest. Here it is. Okay, I have it. Okay, so for administration and business services, we have, okay, all of our temporary staffing lives in our administration and business services because we control kind of the budgeting for that.
15. 10.
So it's 15.8 for that, and then 15 permanent employees. And so in our admin and business services, that also includes our LSO team. So that's all under there. Collection, technology, and patron services, we have 18.5 staff.
Are those FTEs or is that's?
They are all full-time
Okay.
equivalent. All of the as needed, all of that
Yeah, all of that
15%
is in, okay, sorry.
is in
sorry.
admin, yeah. And then for community engagement and programming, we have 14.
Mhm.
And then branch and neighborhood services
Should be about 18.
is 11.
It's 11?
11, 14, 18.5, and 30.8.
Yep, you're missing something.
Yeah, that's weird. The math is not.
The math's not mathing.
The math is not mathing. Sorry, this is a breakdown from the budget. Let me make sure that this is right. 15.
And by the way, Mike, I was only asking because I was trying to, when we messaging about the library, like, my assumption was that most of the staffing was like public facing or library services.
Yes.
Generally, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so the fact that you've got, half of your number for admin is the temporary positions that are distributed out doing all kinds of other stuff.
Right.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
And the
so-
LSOs.
Yeah, the
security
LSOs are all.
Yeah,
done.
no, we can. I count them as public facing.
I think
They're
it's
doing-
just,
they're doing
it's
service-
just
they're doing
admin
service
here that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's right. 30.8, 18.5, Yeah, that's right. I think we have
Okay.
15 perm employees in admin and 15.8 temp employees.
Okay.
Right.
So that's 30,
30.8, yeah.
I rounded to 31.
Yeah. All right. But yes, I mean, I can also get you I don't have like our full-on org chart, but if you
That's
would
okay.
like to see that.
It might be good just to
Yeah,
circulate
good to
that to
see it.
everybody,
Yeah, an
the
updated
the revised one.
chart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Given, yeah.
The math works. So, yeah. But yes, the bulk is public facing.
Okay.
And I think,
And then I know part of the budget exercise is, what was our target for enhanced revenue from library facilities? Wasn't that part of the
For rentals.
rentals? We talked about it in the last board meeting.
$12,000.
It was a nominal amount?
yes,
Okay.
it was between $12,000 and $15,000 for the rental
So,
part.
maybe it was-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and then the other area that the council did direct staff to continue with is they're calling it the managed hiring process, but it is essentially, freezing positions,
Right.
justifying vacancies, and then trying to figure out how to balance a read.
So of the 58, how many are you losing in the next fiscal year?
I mean.
Planned
we-
retirements.
We have one planned retirement and one upcoming vacancy, or one vacancy right now that we know of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they just not fill it, or do they strip the position away?
It's so, the managed hiring process means we go through that justification process. We talk about what the impacts would be. And then it would be, if they deem that it doesn't meet the requirements, then we would not fill it. It would not necessarily be taken away from the budget, but it would be.
Okay, I meant, like, do they just, some organizations, they just zero out, it's like zero line budgeting, just like we just remove the position altogether, so that you look backwards, you never see it again.
That is not what I have been told.
Okay.
That they will be
That's good.
doing. Yeah. But that also.
I was never a fan of
process
that
is-
budgeting process, but it's
Yeah,
prolific.
I think the process is also evolving because the city has to develop the procedures to make sure that this all goes
Okay.
in place.
Fabulous.
Any other questions about the budget? We'll move on to the secretary's report.
Actually, part of it is also going to be talking about our community mapping, which happened on July 9th. But next week, July 17th, is the State of the City. So it will be more of a community picnic vibe at Reed Park and Miles Playhouse, which is reopening. So
Is that actually the official reopening?
I think that it's reopened
Still
kind
opens,
of
right?
It's not
quietly.
reopened, but this
Yeah.
is the official.
This is the official one. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there, I'll be out of town unfortunately, but.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah,
is the library doing anything there?
So each of the departments have their own booth, but we'll be bringing our community mapping materials.
Oh, great.
So engagement, and if you haven't seen downstairs
I
yet,
know, my goodness,
the
it's
board,
very
I mean,
busy.
it's only been not even 2 weeks,
Right.
and people have been.
So many things.
Yeah,
It's great.
have putting their dots.
Well, I think that's great that you'll do it there and you'll get out the survey.
Yes,
bookmarks.
So we have the survey bookmarks, and actually, I can bring some to you all. I was going to send anyway an invite for you and the Friends Board as well, just for the link to the survey. But we're getting a lot of,
Oh, you did? Oh, good. I haven't taken it yet. Oh, good.
we're getting some good responses. This is kind of the,
Nice.
when it's, new, people are responding more, and it's good because in the summer, we're getting more folks coming in, and so that's great. But we'll be there, and interested to see how it is. It seems like it will be nice for community. So I'll be there.
And the Conservancy's given tours of Miles Playhouse.
Oh,
And the library supplied, I think, photos
Mhm.
to Ruth Ann Lair to have. Yeah, so I think, always, you're always collaborating. on
Yeah.
these things. It's good.
Yeah, no, that's great. I can't wait. And definitely there's some, even like there's some programs that used to be at the Miles that are, like the Downbeat 720 is going to be there. And
Oh,
so it needs to be at the Miles, so it's good. It'll be good to see. Our community mapping initiative is underway. Thank you, Daniel and Judith, for coming to yesterday's first one. It was the first facilitated one for the community. We're going to be doing 3 other big ones, Tuesday, August 12th, Montana. And then Saturday, September 27th, we're doing one at Pico and one at the main library. And on the 27th, we will have Elise come back to do these graphics as well. And so we've had 2 now at the beginning and then 2 at the end, and it'll be interesting to kind of see whether that's any changes or any differences. But I invite you to come to those, but also we can talk when we get to the discussion items about any interest in wanting to facilitate and or reach out to certain groups, so that I'm available. I'm definitely looking forward to doing other beyond these community conversations and focus groups, because what our team is going to be doing, because one of the conversations was with the staff. Now the staff is going to be identifying different groups and in the coming months be doing their own conversations, likely with some smaller groups and specific groups, and what we've encouraged is to go to where people are meeting, not just expecting people to come here to the library to do it. So we will be doing that throughout the summer. So summer reading it kicked off in June, and it was pretty amazing. It was huge. There were things happening at the front as well as all throughout the lobby and in our different locations. So we've got a lot of folks already signed up. You can still sign up. Everything is virtual. And kids will get their prizes as they fulfill their hours. So definitely encourage folks to come and do that. Balancing on that, we also have, it's not just for kids, right? It's for adults as well. So adults can sign up too. If you're already reading, might as well sign up and get some incentives and be entered into some drawings. Lyric Chorus came to Santa Monica, and so we've had Lyric Chorus come before, and I think it's good we're kind of restarting our partnerships with Emeritus College and hopefully having more programs with them. I know that they have been an active partner in the past. Pride on the Promenade was a huge success with the pop-up library in the Promenade. I unfortunately could not be there, but I heard a lot about how the staff interacted with so many, over 400 attendees, and giving out free books as well. So that was great. And supporting Palisades fire victims. So this is, again, just mentioning, we don't just do, certain programs. We also make sure that our groups in our community are able to use our library, and we check in with them. And so a group of homeschoolers found a new home at Ocean Park. And I think it's these stories, as well as, our awesome programs that we put on, that is, it's good to continue to talk with our community about, and how we're really embedded in each of our neighborhoods, which makes us very lucky here in Santa Monica. In speaking with, I finally got to meet our new incoming city manager, and just talked about the amount of libraries we have, which he thinks is amazing, and just really for all of us to emphasize how much we're embedded in the community. And I think, if anything, these preliminary graphics show that, and just talking with the different community members is kind of reinvigorating what the community finds valuable in our spaces, which is great. has been great to hear. I'm going to skip to our tech and tasks and digital literacy, always and continues to be extremely popular. The message that I received from patron, I want to tell you how valuable the tech and task class is. I'm a senior citizen who often needs help on the computer and phone. They have helped solve problems, answer questions, and have gotten me back on track. A big thank you. It definitely see a lot of seniors at Tech and Task and a lot of regulars because, again, having that one-on-one time with somebody who is patient and helps with both, filling out forms as well as technology has been important to a lot of the community. And I think it's pretty clear, right, just in terms of the amount of programs that are happening, like we're hitting our stride in terms of just being more out there in the community and having these programs, and particularly, in the summer. The Red Kits have been great as well, and showing just the different checkouts that have been happening for these kits is really interesting. And that, I think, and with bird watching, so what is notable from that is that we've had programs matched with it, and that really makes a difference. And when we kind of marry the idea of we've got some great materials here for you as you're learning something here at the library through a program, it's been a great way to promote a lot of our programs. And then just to let also about our friends, they've been great with, they're open 3 days a week. And if you think about the money that they're raising at the bookstore, that all goes to our programming. It's been really amazing to see. And now that we've got our programming arm starting up, we're seeing more folks coming to the programs. They would like to see even more. So any type of promotion or cross-promotion we can do is great. And so next week, it's actually the same time as State of the City.
Yeah, it's too bad because it's a nice program.
Yeah, and I think it's because State of the City moved at different times. So this was planned, but we do have a great panel on home and finding our place in the world. And then the following week, and this is one that I've sent invitations to both, but this one specifically about building a civil community through kindness is one that I think everyone should come to. Shola is an excellent speaker. I've seen him speak at library conferences to huge audiences, and when he came to see the space, he really liked the idea of it being more intimate and just having conversations with people. But he's so energetic and really has a great story to share about how he turned, his life turned around through understanding the importance of civility. And then we do have in August for the Friends Culture and Identity program. So they're running along, and they will be meeting to talk about another idea, dinner with friends next week, and friends will be meeting next week as well.
So I have a question in terms of the budget, the revenue from the bookstore. How does that? How does that compare with prior years? Maybe before COVID.
So they would generally make about $100,000 a year, about. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. So this is actually pretty fantastic in terms of just the 3 days a week. They were open, I think, 4 days a week.
So that
but why it's kind of managed to stay, I think part of it is also the online sales and the way they've marketed their books, and they have brought in social media person Jasmine, who's been working on that too. So
that's great.
I would add the one thing you didn't have in here was the library yourself and librarians marching in the 4th of July parade.
Yes, we did not have that.
Oh, right. You needed a good picture. I bet you have pictures.
Yeah.
So your social media campaign was on point.
That's right. They
did a great route.
That was, and a lot of it was like me sending the photos of all of us.
So thank you,
Yeah.
Judith, for helping, like, include us in the Conservancy.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yes. I mean,
It was great.
It was my first time marching in
really fun.
that parade, and
I know
So
you
bummed
too.
to miss it.
I know. Sorry that you were.
Yeah,
So you're all better?
I'm on past day 10. I'm good.
Oh,
Yeah.
good for you. What a drag.
Go back.
Total.
All right, well, thank you.
For
Any
the
que-
Friends budget, I do have a question. So that amount that gets to be used, how are there certain restrictions on it?
so it's generally all for programming.
Program,
But
okay.
because they're the 501c3, fundraising, there's not the restrictions like general funds, but in terms of what we make, and it does also fund part of that social media to like help the Friends get up and running.
Mhm.
But a bulk of it is summer reading,
Yeah.
Santa Monica Reads, which is coming back, and we'll be back early next year.
Oh, good.
As the big programs, and then they also have adult programming, adult services program money, youth
Yeah.
services general money, and teen services. And then they also support the archives, the digital archives, with hosting that.
Right.
So that's all, and so that's really good, because when we had to do certain cuts, that actually, and that type of programming was preserved a little bit more.
And so, right, so, I mean, and then they have some of their own operations, but not, I mean, I guess we don't, how big a budget do they have? Friends
For operation,
yeah.
it's minimal. I don't have
Probably
that,
very
but
minimal,
it's,
because
I'll volunteer.
they don't really have any paid staff.
well, they have, yeah, so they have the bookkeeper,
A bookkeeper.
and then they have someone that does a little bit of the admin,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have Jasmine for
Jasmine for communication.
everything else is all volunteer.
Yeah.
So
So-
you could use more volunteers.
Yes, so I mean, if they can increase their fundraising more, can go to the library, and or also they can do some more things. I mean, well, we want to raise money for the cafe, so that's a
I think
capital.
the interest is
Yeah.
going in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
capital support.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, well, thanks. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, moving on to the consent calendar. We've gotten the minutes from last month. Is it- okay. We can take a minute and look at it, because I think we just got this.
That's for conference.
Their motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
The only discussion is, when's the Friends meeting? Because I want to follow up on the Imagination Library thing.
Wednesday,
It's Wednesday?
yes,
Next Wednesday?
next one.
Next Wednesday. And then just a quick roll call. Jason,
Yes.
Judith,
Yes.
Dina,
Yes.
and Daniel.
Yes.
So they meet regularly the third Wednesday of the month.
Correct. But they do,
Which is basically,
they're all,
here's my problem, is I always make sure that I'm here
the second,
this
right, and
meeting?
then, yeah, and then
And
you
then
go.
It is back to back.
Yeah.
Daniel, if you want to put something together and then we can
Okay. Yeah, if we can do it without, when I'm available, that'd be great.
Okay, so we have no public input on the remaining items. So we'll go on to our library board items. So I think all of us were on the webinar yesterday, convincing voters to fund libraries, which was excellent. I took a bunch of notes, and I think, well, so, I mean, Paul Signorelli is great as a moderator, and so Tim McDonald is, and you know him from Pasadena, and then the board member, Robert Karatz. Yeah, so they were great, and, I think what they were doing, was maybe a little different than what we need to do. I mean, because they already had a measure in place that, they have to renew it, but their big one was a bond measure for the central library. But there were a lot of people on the call who have done this, in other cities. So that was really helpful. I think it would be great if we could bring Tim in at some point and talk to him and, help advise us. But, I've learned a couple of things since yesterday to share. I mean, one of the things they talked about was whether, if it's a city or initiative, if it's a city measure, you need 2/3. If it's a citizens initiative, you only need 55%. A majority, actually, I think close to 55. And so right now, our next election is in 2026, and I think, well, of course, we have so much work to be done, and we'll talk about organizing for that, but right now, the city funds the school district. They have an agreement, which is up for negotiation in 2027, and so because of the city's budget crisis, the school community is looking at doing a parcel tax. And the reason I know about this is, so this is CEPS, which is the Community for Excellent Public Schools, which is, they've been around a long time, and they're really supportive of schools. And so they're soon going to be looking at doing a parcel tax. And, it's possible that the library could be part of that. I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough for the library to get a measure, but I think it's definitely worth pursuing it and doing it. But I think that we should also consider, or I don't know if the school, if the school people would be willing. What I've been told, and the reason I know about this is because my husband is he owes them a proposal to help strategize about this, and so I'll get some more information about it. But he thinks that it's going to be a lot of money that they're asking for the schools, because they have to replace a large amount that the city gives them. So so I just thought it's important to be aware of that. But
They've gone to the well in the bond issue so often lately.
But it always gets approved, right?
it always gets approved.
It does, but with diminishing votes, I think the last two is closer
So I
than-
think
closer
that's
than they
why,
wanted.
when the last one passed pretty well, but I agree with you, that's why, doing a citizens initiative has
No, absolutely.
a lot better chance.
It's good to know that they're considering it. That I came away really energized from the call yesterday. I can't believe it was yesterday. It's been busy since then.
Mhm.
I am confident that to put it on the ballot, you need to have X percentage of signatures. I think if we
10%.
started, but of registered voters.
Yeah, registered voters, yeah.
Which is, I think,
I
something
think
like
that's doable.
40,000 here in San Juan.
Yeah, I think it's 8,000 or 9,000.
Registered?
No, registered voters,
Yeah.
not population.
Right.
I don't know what that number is.
But so, if we started now, I think that would be very easy to qualify the initiative. I think libraries poll really, really well. I love that they shared all their marketing materials, and I love that they shared the structure,
Yeah.
and that they were able to effectively message it to, like, it was $50 a person per year that was going to ensure this ongoing access. And their principal function was, or focus at that time was the restoration of their main library,
Right.
but it included an operating budget
Right.
portion, and it was also structured that if the city didn't fund their portion of it, the city couldn't access those funds.
Right.
So I think it might get messy if we were to tie up with the school district, but I like the way they structured it that way, because if we put it to, it could literally build a campaign around opening our libraries with that parcel tax, and that the money used for it would have to go to making sure that you can literally write the initiative like,
Right.
and the money is only going to be available if the city's going to open up the damn branches
Yeah.
and restore
staff
regular
them and
services.
keep them open, yeah. No, I think we should, I totally agree with you. I think, we have, what are we
I
going to
don't know.
use?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what the path forward is otherwise, because right now,
Right, no, you're
this-
right. The city's, yeah.
15 years ago, when they were doing budget exercises, there was, hey, there's uncertainty. There's going to be like cycles and crises and fiscal strain, mostly related to the unfunded pension obligations. Right then, it was the city was facing a huge unfunded, still faces a huge unfunded pension
still does.
liabilities. But then it was just off the charts
Right,
crazy.
because they paid down some.
Yeah, exactly. But now with the PAL thing and all the other black holes sucking up resources, it's more surprising that we haven't, or that the city hasn't figured out a way to do that, because there's dedicated funding pools for other pieces of the city budget. So I think that this is, to me, it's like a layup. But if we wanted to see it happen in the 2026 cycle,
That should start now.
yeah, it's got to start.
Yeah, I
now.
mean, that, I agree. It seems like, why not? And I think it makes sense to partner with the schools, because, right, if they're out there asking for all this money, we don't want it to be like a competition thing, right? It would
Yeah,
probably
I don't know,
better-
I mean, that's the
probably better
challenge.
join them than try.
Maybe, I mean, I guess, we clearly, we have, the first thing is you have to do polling, to really see
Yeah.
what's, and that they're gonna be doing I mean, I think it's worth having a discussion, certainly.
Yeah. I was struck by, the amount of money they spent on the consultants.
Yes.
I was
So
thinking to
we got-
myself,
I mean,
where's
yeah.
that gonna come from?
It's expensive, every poll they did was about $30,000, Pasadena's a little bigger than us, so maybe it'd be a little less, but, I mean, Daniel and I were talking yesterday, we probably have to raise $100,000, and, I mean, I've been in a lot of campaigns for the schools, all those bonds over the years, and, it's not easy, but to raise the money to do the campaign, so,
Oh, yeah.
but,
I know they did compete with two measures that the school district had for infrastructure and different reasons. But I know that community members were on threads clarifying, because there was that question, why do we keep funding a school district that is not doing great? But there is constantly, I read a lot of threads where people were trying to clarify, this is strictly for the library, the school district's different. So there is in order to not combine them, just because, and I think their push was a lot to reopen the main library and not lose it as a historical building or whatever path they took.
I wasn't sure, that's what you're, okay.
Yeah,
Now, the messaging was
but it did compete against two major
yeah. No, it did.
other measures.
It's impressive what they did. I mean,
I didn't think it was, I mean, I voted, but I didn't think it was going to pass because the numbers were high.
It was 80% though, wasn't it?
The number, well, I mean, the cost was high,
Right.
so it was kind of
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's where
I think
people
there's
were
a
getting
reservoir of love
stuck.
for libraries that we don't
Yeah.
appreciate.
I mean, schools have the thing, people feel like, oh, that my property value will go up with a good school district. I don't know if libraries have that same kind of incentive as well.
No, but I
to
think
have
that-
a
I think-
community with,
Yeah.
that's why maybe joining those schools, you kind of ride on that momentum as well. And but yeah, I think libraries speak for themselves. I think most people
Yeah,
are
I think
pro-library.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
that was the one thing marching in the parade
anti-library.
was, you know,
Oh, yeah,
I
people
tried to be
love-
hype man
you
every
got
5
a lot
minutes.
of love for the library.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every few minutes, I would just
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
"Let's hear it for librarians," and woohoo!
Yeah.
There was a lot of love there.
For sure.
So, well, listen, I mean, I think we should form a working group. We should involve the friends, and then, I mean, we really have to go out into the community and talk. We have to get, big time support.
We did. So this is so I think because if we want to make the threshold really low, so again, if we started it as a Friends initiative, the qualifying would be easy, I think.
Easy, yes, right. Could be, yes.
Because we can literally set up in
Right.
front of the libraries and say, I think we can get the signatures pretty effectively. It's the wording and it's the language.
And
it's
figuring out what the number is,
Yeah.
how much
exactly.
money, and
To raise,
I want it all.
how much,
So that's an interesting point. So I love that they also use the 80-20. So I think we
Yes.
can start hashing that out in the working group. I think it should start with the friends. But last board meeting, we also talked about going back to the neighborhood groups
Yes.
and
Yes.
around the community
Yes.
mapping exercise. And that's a great opportunity to start saying, hey, and by the way, we're starting this working group
Yes.
because
And
our path of
gather,
reopening
yes.
all the branches,
Yeah.
this is one path, and we're exploring it right
getting-
now. Would you like to participate?
yes, I think that's great.
Yeah, I feel like that was the takeaway for me from yesterday is like people don't know what's going on at libraries.
Correct.
Generally,
Yeah.
it's not just Santa Monica, and so it's worthwhile to do some outreach.
So I think that's a great idea and opportunity for us over the next month, for board members to go, to select our neighborhood groups and do the community mapping. Because it was interesting in our one that we did yesterday, when people said, what do you want in what's the priority for 5 years? And most people said funding, whether they were willing to,
Yeah,
do
no,
it or not,
it
but
came up
that's what
unprompted.
came up.
It came up
Just
unprompted,
came-
which
it
I
just came
love-
up.
would
But
love to see.
that's, and I see that's high priorities for the staff as well. So I think that'd be a great place to start. I think the other thing is, what I've been thinking about lately is we really need to connect politically with our political groups if we want this kind of support. And, which we've been dealing with the neighborhood groups, but we really haven't gone, to, there's different, there's SMER, there's, forget their other name, and then there's the Democratic Club. I think we would want to get their support and get that involved. And I mean, we can do that we can do that as a citizen, as a campaign group. We wouldn't, because we can't use library resources. or
No,
anything
and that's why I was like,
like
if
that.
this,
With the friends,
if
because
the
they're
germ starts with the
501c,
friends,
yes.
yeah, if we start with the friends, is like, this is what, organize it from that germ.
Yes.
But then touch all the groups that you're talking about, chamber, the players in town, the neighborhood groups. To me, I want to just understand what that magic number is. I really fell in love with that 80-20. Like, we worded it like
Yes.
that. You only get the money if you're going to do what
No,
you want.
yeah,
And we know the
right.
community wants the libraries open, and if our answer is we don't have it in the budget because of the city's fiscal constraints, it's like, well, here's your.
Well, we're going, right, yeah.
So
So, they
it's all,
let,
budgets are moral documents. They're about prioritization. So.
so they left us and said, they said, we should come up with a draft plan right away. And so I just wrote down what's in it, but I didn't. So like a one-sentence description, amount to raise, cost of the campaign, a timeline, partial tax versus bond, pre-polling, how to organize volunteers and do it for a major election, in which, we've got one coming up, so,
We got a short runway.
yeah, so,
And they said it takes a year, right?
yeah.
So we're
Please
gonna-
do.
Start now.
Right.
So we're gonna start now.
Start now.
Since we can't take vote on this at the moment, the board can express to get it agendized for next month's meeting. And maybe there's a little bit more intent in maybe developing an ad hoc committee. Just so
we
that-
can't-
Oh, because it wasn't, even though that we had this on the agenda, like
Well,
this
this
is kind
is-
of related to it.
It's related, but we didn't identify any plans to take action.
Oh,
So, okay, but we're discussing where action should take place, and if we say the action, we're going, we
would be
in
out.
discussing it, we think it
Well,
would
I mean,
be-
we
the
can't-
forum should be not this library board,
Right.
but the Friends, then we don't need to take a vote at all. We can take a vote to support it once that thing
So,
exists.
so the when's the Friends meeting next Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
You're away, but I could go.
Yeah,
And I'll say,
I'm in town, but I've got a commitment that
Oh, okay.
night,
We
and then I
know
leave the
that
next one.
So we know that our our friends, our friend president will not be there.
Oh,
And then the other thing too, just to distinguish, I think that it makes sense what you're saying, and I do think that as individual citizens and residents to go to the Friends in that way can happen. If it's represented as a board, there does
It
need
can't, 'cause we
to
have-
be a vote here, but I think
That's
the
fine.
I hear you.
individual.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If the Friends want
And-
to
yes.
raise their hand and say, we think this is
Yeah.
a brilliant idea, we can then, as a board, go, we
Yeah.
really support this brilliant idea.
Yeah, and at some point, we do want it formalized
Right,
on
here.
paper that the
Of
board
course.
wants to explore and support.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Yes, yeah, but certainly.
is Rachel out of town?
She is.
Okay, because it'd be great, Daniel, to meet with Rachel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And we can.
So
copy.
since we're not going to do this as like a board subcommittee, right, we could all be participants, is that correct?
To attend the Friends meeting?
To take on this initiative. I mean, if we're doing
We can be
it,
board members and community members at the same time.
yeah, right. I mean, because we're limited, if we had this working group, we could only have two board.
I mean, this sounds like a really, like a grassroots effort,
Yes.
kind
Yes.
of like the
Like our fair
the
reading.
rally, yeah.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of crossing over
Yes.
with other
Groups.
other groups.
Yeah.
So I think the Friends
Friends
would
is-
have to, but I think the thing to keep in mind is their bandwidth. So it may depend on having some strong volunteers from the
Well, I
board
think we
help
would,
Yeah.
yeah, I
support.
think we're, well, I know Daniel is, and I know now that if I'm not the chair, I got a lot of energy I can put into this, so.
Because I mean, this is like something of interest for Rachel G. Grassroots
Yeah, Rachel would
efforts.
be- I know, she would be.
Yeah.
And she's very strategic, she's really, she's great, so.
So can we, like last time, just to, since we don't have to vote on this, on the community mapping and just going back to the neighborhood groups as a start to.
Right.
I'm happy to take Wilmot again and Noma. Do we need, we had that list of.
Right.
We have a list.
Yeah.
I could do Sunset Park, and you did Opa?
Uh-huh.
You want to do Opa?
Sure.
There
Do
was,
well, you haven't done one of that, you haven't, I mean,
Yeah, we
we
did.
saw it, so it,
who did Opal?
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking, are we putting the cart before the horse? Like, don't we sort of need our plan in place before we go speak to them? Or
No, I'm sorry, I was bifurcating the work streams. Like,
Oh.
the community mapping thing is going on.
Oh, okay.
So we as library board members, we reached out to
Oh,
them
just
when we were
talking
doing
about
the
that.
Fairview
Okay.
stuff,
Right.
and we were doing the budget impact, and we shared the impact report, and we
Got it.
built some support for pushing back against the Fairview proposal. This is an opportunity to go back to them and go, hey, steady state, but we're now doing this, and you're helping get the word out about the survey and participating in the community mapping exercise would be great. And then if there's a whisper conversation on the side that also says, oh, by the way, we're looking at how, separately, we're looking at how we might address the getting the libraries back open.
Funding.
And if you'd like to have somebody from your group participate in that, let me know.
because I think, because naturally comes up in the discussion, because
Yeah.
the mapping, they're really great questions, they're very broad questions, but they bring up a lot of things. Erica asked us 6 questions, and, yeah,
What do you value?
that, and,
Most ideal library host roles.
but in terms of priorities, funding is gonna come up, and that would be the opportunity to say, well, we're starting to look at this.
Several people have raised that issue.
Yeah.
Those are the questions of the survey too, right?
They are in
Oh.
some form or another. They're also
In
in
the
the
survey,
survey.
yeah.
Yes, because we're trying to capture all of that. Yeah.
So you did mid-cities?
Yeah, and I
you
did-
did mid-cities, and what was the other
There
one?
was another
East,
one.
the,
Yes.
what,
Was it
east
north?
side, northeast
Something.
neighborhoods.
Yeah, northeast, yeah. They were interesting.
They're a very interesting group.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know that Antonio ever got to talk with Pico, but,
We did not. That because and that was
yeah.
scheduling. But we can.
And, that's a lot are you okay to do too, or?
Yeah, it's fine. Are we, is it, so what are we're going to them
So
to
that's-
do the actual community
pitch this,
mapping
yeah.
exercise with them?
Well, because we have these upcoming dates, right? We've got dates in August, like, hey,
No, I mean, yeah, what I'm clarifying is
Oh,
just
so
to let
we don't
them
want to do
know.
the mapping with them?
We're just letting them know that there's these upcoming dates, not to do it with them, right? I'm just clarifying that.
Correct. Please attend, please share.
Oh, well,
Everybody do the
we
survey.
could do mapping
Email.
with them, if they wanted to take.
Yes,
I know
that's what I'm
they
trying
take-
to,
yeah, no.
that's what I'm trying to.
I don't know, we have
clarify.
I think
I don't
it's
know- I
too
don't-
long.
Yeah.
It
But that's
took-
my
You
opinion.
might want to, maybe we could do, or find a date like in
And do-
September after doing these
Okay,
presentations
because-
to say, invite 1 or 2 of each, and it's actually.
Oh, do
the
a neighborhood
community
group mapping, representatives.
Group, like a community
Okay.
conversation with them.
And there's the group of neighborhood associations, that informal call. that
Right.
happens.
Oh, right.
So we could.
Yeah,
We could do it with
we
them.
could tell them that these are these are their set times for community conversations that we have at different locations.
Right.
But if you want to do one and we can co-facilitate, we can do one outside.
Well, I guess we can ask them if they
Have any
like to
interest.
participate in that. Oh, okay, so sorry, I was going, I don't know.
Sorry.
I was going in different.
Also, we can, invite them to let them know that there's these
Yeah. Oh,
sessions.
We
and
have-
also-
we have flyers.
And also send them
And
the
give
link,
them
but they can take the survey
Yes.
online. Yeah,
and-
yeah, so
okay.
there's
Okay.
that.
I mean, I just see OPA has it in their newsletter,
Yeah, well, Opa's.
They're really good
They're on
about
top of things.
sharing
They're really on
goals,
top of
citywide
it.
things, yeah.
They're
So-
great. Oh, okay, so we will reach out,
Yeah.
and just be on their agenda to give them an update, okay.
Just friendly hangout.
Okay.
They, like, again, there's a reservoir of love for us, for libraries.
And then,
Rightly so.
Yes, I mean, let me know. There are certain times where I may not be available in August, but
No worries.
August, September, and we can also help prepare some information and materials for you.
All I need is the PDF that I can email them so they can circulate it, and I'll pull the link to the survey off the website.
Yeah, sounds good.
what did you say, what PDF?
Just a PDF of the flyer that I can
Oh.
share with them digitally, and then the link for the
Oh,
survey is
yeah.
actually on the website.
Oh, okay.
If there's in person, we have copies.
Oh.
If anyone
Oh,
attends.
so, but is the flyer it's on the website? Or-
We have a flyer with the QR code where people can
Oh.
just link to the survey.
Oh,
We also have bookmarks with the dates
Right.
of the.
Yes, I got the flyer yesterday, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, any way we can spread that out would be great.
Okay, is there any more that we want to talk about this? Well, I guess we've talked it pretty well out, but, I mean, this could be very exciting. It could be really terrific if we could make this happen.
I think it's good timing with the things that we're doing too.
Yes.
So it's almost like a
Yeah.
combined
I feel like
messaging.
another conversation with the people from Pasadena would probably be.
Yeah,
and
that'd be really.
They seem very receptive, and Pasadena's kind of similarly situated in a way. It's like its own little community, but part of LA, and
Mhm.
so it might be a good,
How much
Working on
are they getting from that each year?
They didn't, did they say a total that they're getting?
I just
20 million.
it was a lot
Oh,
of money.
a lot
Yeah,
of
I was
money.
like, wow.
Yeah,
Well, it was a
that-
lot
that
of
part-
money.
And it goes to
No.
Well, part of it was for the restoration.
Right.
Yeah, the restoration.
But the parcel.
But the OpEx, the parcel tax was ongoing.
Yes, and that's,
20
I think
and
they
a
were,
portion of that was like with
what did they say?
operating.
It was $41 per parcel, $26 for units, resident, in a multi-residential,
Hmm.
and $300 for non-residential.
For businesses?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
We should charge the empty lots the most money. 10,000 for each empty lot.
So it was 2.8 million annually for their operating budget,
Okay.
Wow. That's a lot.
which similar size. I know that they're larger, big, but given our budget is shy of 12, that would be like a 20% increase.
Yeah.
I think we could open.
I mean, the
I'm
thing,
confident we
you
can
know-
reopen the branches with that.
Oh, we could certainly, yeah.
I love all of the
We could
energy.
certainly, I mean, the thing is, the 80/20 is, makes, because we're not asking, for full funding, we're just asking to get the libraries open and keep them open. And,
Stabilizing them.
yeah.
What is the 80/20? To get 20% of the revenue?
For the city to access the actual money,
Uh-huh.
they had to fully fund their portion of the budget.
So as the
The city
80/20?
would commit to, the city committed to fund 80% of the operating, and this would bring up the other 20%
Oh, I
from the
see.
parcel tax. But,
But they could only
But-
access it if they funded it.
Right.
but only if the city committed to that
Mm.
could they access.
I feel like it's almost incentivizing the city to keep the budget at a certain level. Yeah, but I guess the direction of the budget is not great anyways, so.
It's negative, so yeah.
Right, yeah, yeah.
It's all,
I wanted to pull the actual implementation language, because all I saw were the marketing materials, but
Mhm.
I should.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go and get all that stuff out and
It's-
look at it.
That's the nice thing, it's all publicly available.
Hmm?
It's all publicly
Yeah,
available.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why, reinvent the wheel? We can
No,
definitely
I know. I
look
love
at their playbook and use
they're-
as much as
Yeah, we should
is
use as much,
relevant.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I think, Erica knows them, so,
Working
Tim,
on it,
and,
yeah. I think that they'll
They
be
would be-
open to
yeah.
meeting.
happy to
And
meet
obviously
with us.
CLA has resources for us.
Right.
So if we get this kicked off, I think we will have a lot of
He's actually the,
Oh, right.
administrative support and
Yeah.
coaching and mentoring.
Right.
he's actually the current interim executive
Yeah.
director.
Yes.
Mhm.
Nice.
So, okay, well, this is exciting. So do we want to debrief about our conversation yesterday or what you heard from the staff? I mean, it's great to see what they had to say. I mean, so how do you feel about this now that you've done two?
Yeah, I thought it went well in facilitating both. What was great is this, this one, we had probably like 40 to 45 staff members.
Wow.
So we had 4 groups going on at once,
Ah.
and she did this with the notes and then with our report back. This one was
gets
really
it.
like, as she's listening,
Nice.
she's drawing this,
Yeah.
which was great. So I think, this seems to be like her preferred way of doing it, but I do think that she got a lot out of from what like the staff had to say. I think overall, it was a really good experience to see both community members and then with staff. We're tweaking a little bit because we had those ground rules, and I think for community members, they're used to doing a lot of the different conversations. So ground rules, yes, you understand, it's basically be respectful, listen. I think for staff, they took certain things a little bit more literal, and so we wanted to tweak some of the language on like what we meant by, I think there was one disagree but not be disagreeable, and kind of what that means. It's, it's just really respectful. It's not like you can't disagree. It's just more that you're respectful. So it helped to give us some different ways of thinking about the language of it when we're talking, whether with staff or with community members. But overall, I think it was great and successful. I wish that we could have, we have her coming, Elise coming now and then in September. That's obviously at a cost, so it would be great to have more of these, but now that we know that this is a good way to have even conversations or larger meetings, we'll be looking at doing that in the future. But I think this offers also, I could read to you all of the things that people say, but seeing it in this way and what kind of pops out is really a good way of communicating what people have talked about. I think the staff there was excitement with the staff. They really, if you can tell, they really want to build those connections and sense of belonging in the library. They really do care about what the next steps are going to be. They are concerned about, the things around budget and freezes, and while they want to do this, they also want to make sure that they are, making sure that they themselves are in a good and healthy, mental space to be able to deliver services for others. So I think that they're very aware and self-aware of that. So we heard a lot about, people-centered and making sure that we provide those areas of connection. Funding, again, is a really big thing for them, for us. And, I think that will be, the continued conversation of what we can do. And how I couched it was, it's not like we're not trying to go to the community and ask about all these new things that we should be doing on top of the things that we're already doing. Like, we already know and have heard the open doors is the biggest thing. And with our resources, what can we do to either switch out, tweak, or change, if we need to, some of the things that we're doing to help to better, be responsive to the community. So I think that's the other thing that I really like is that the staff is the one designing this, and along the way we're making some changes and tweaks, but they're the ones that are hopefully feeling more empowered to go out and talk and have these conversations. Whether it's going to be big like this or small, we're giving them the tools to do it. So that's it. And we will be incorporating this in our, eventual reporting and report out to the community, because I think these are great visuals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so if you all want to do any community conversations, I know we're doing the presentations, but any other specific groups, then let's talk about that and, partnering with, I can be note taker or help with co-facilitation. I'd love to partner with you all to see what we could do.
On that, I was wondering if it deserves a little bit more conversation maybe at our next meeting, like for an agenda, to talk about, how we can, I think more than just community mapping, I think community mapping is a great way to have a reason to go out with these groups. But I'm thinking like just communicate, based on the meeting yesterday and the understanding that the library needs to communicate more with the community. I'm thinking more even like, how we can outreach to more groups within Santa Monica, like thinking even the other boards in the city, for example, especially the ones that are like related to businesses, like the Pier or the downtown Santa Monica or whatever, or chambers of commerce that we've talked about. But just even going out and meeting with them and letting them know that there's this happening, but also maybe giving them, just having a conversation about the library and, like I'm thinking like maybe we should discuss that a little bit more. And I'm happy to like help put together like, materials and like leave that like, because I think that would be helpful to get people to know more what, I guess the reality, because I don't think, it's really easy for people to just, pinpoint problems,
Mhm.
but to understand like what is going on, I think people would be surprised.
Well, I think I agree with you, and I think, if in fact we're going to go through this initiative, that's exactly what we'll have to be doing,
Yeah.
and, because we'll, need to make a case about why the library, what it does, why it's important in the community.
I saw somewhere on there where it says become passionate advocates.
Mm.
And I think that sometimes takes time.
Passionate community members.
Yes, passionate
Yeah.
community. And that sometimes takes
Yeah.
time, opportunities for networking, such as like the parade, introductions, maybe even teaming up with a team member that has been doing this for years. And I think those are all great ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe there's a way for us to look at resources that we can provide in trainings or making those connections, or maybe how Pasadena went out to their local organizations.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that kind of reminds me of like one thing I've always thought of is also like, so for my college I did like alumni interviews, and I did them for Santa Monica, and it's pretty amazing to meet like the high school students of Santa Monica, their accomplishments and their things. And I've always thought like we need to rally and get these high school students involved in things like this, right? Like to get them to, because they have a lot of time, and then they have like they can use this as a thing that they can volunteer for,
Right.
and then talk about it when they like are going for colleges and things like that to get them really involved.
Yeah.
They're so organized these days. Like
The kids,
you can't you cannot think of them as like just
No.
kids. Like they're so thoughtful, and really motivated. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we have, we've got a group already in the
Right. Yeah.
Teen
Exactly.
Council.
Yeah.
They're terrific.
Have them recruit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the young voices and the teen voices.
Well, I like that there were some younger people at our group yesterday. They were, to me, they were younger,
They were,
which is nice because I'm always around, so that was nice to get some.
Well, Zeth actually used to volunteer with me when I was a teen librarian.
Oh.
She works in St. John's.
Ah.
Yeah. No, we have some great youth here.
Yeah.
The person that drew this, she used to be long.
No,
Oh,
Lizette
one of the
was
participants.
at
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
she was one of the participants. Yeah. No, that's a great idea. Galvanize the youth and the team especially,
Yeah.
and as a learning experience.
Yeah, for them to talk, they can talk, once they do it, and let's say we get the Measure Path, that's an achievement that they can talk about.
So Rachel.
Give a title too.
Yeah.
Outreach coordinator
Yeah,
or
exactly.
social media maven.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rachel's daughter was involved in the airport
Oh,
part.
right,
She was
yes.
the teen liaison
Yes.
to
That's right.
get conversations going with young people to get their input.
Yeah.
So the airport, right,
Right.
their model was,
Yeah,
going out,
no,
and so having
that's
some
true.
teen liaisons. those would be great.
Even tying it to kind of like political action and, supporting freedom to read and freedom of speech and all these, I think some kids will be maybe motivated by that,
Yeah.
Also some library school students too,
Oh, library science too.
yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we have lots of work in front of us.
Yes, we do.
Mhm.
It's all right here, especially for our new chair and vice chair.
No, we have a great board, supportive board.
Absolutely.
I'll be sure to schedule a coffee. So we can, yeah.
I know, it's, well, we could still have.
Still have coffee.
You can still come to our coffee.
No, but Eric and I can still, we can just talk
Yeah.
about stuff.
Mhm.
Right, yeah. All right, well, I guess, is that anything else? Is there, well, we'll adjourn at 7:23.
free. Okay. So,
Well, I guess I'll see